sentence you to life in confinement without parole.
That's f***ing horse shit. You do whatever the f*** you want.
Why are they shutting my mic off?
I'm the federal witness of the United States federal government. I demand some goddamn respect, you. All I did was trespass on property.
Ma'am, you gotta create the community that you want to live in.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Can we start, or you want us to wait till to see if there's any victims?
Oh, you can start. Yeah, if there's any victims, they'll come. I don't think.
Yeah, victim wants contact with defendant but does not want to.
Any victims, Graciela?
Yeah, and this is it.
Perfect. Thank you.
So,
I called
I'm trying to confirm downstairs.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to
Yeah, you just call them and come up to the podium.
Okay.
You either have them announce their name again or just call their name, read the charge.
All right, can you guys hear me in Osceola?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm very good. How y'all doing?
Good, thank you. I believe we have everyone we need to get started. I'm going to go ahead and call Nathan Avelis.
Yes, Your Honor.
You just need to stay.
Approaching the podium or the mic. Your Honor, I do have a PC argument to make on this matter.
Okay.
There's so much feedback. Will you turn it up? Okay.
We're just fixing the audio in here. It's a little staticky.
Of course.
All right, so we have Mr. Nathan Avelis. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. You have been charged with battery, misdemeanor of the first degree. I do find probable cause. I'm sorry, Pete, Mr. Public Defender. You wanted to make a probable cause argument, so go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. And Richard Mendoza on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender this morning, or actually this weekend. As far as Mr. Avelis is concerned, the only thing I would want to say is that I feel that the alleged victim in this case was the bit of the initial aggressor based upon the statement of what you're going to do to hit me. Prior to that, nothing was said as far as what Mr. Avelis was trying to do at that time. So therefore, at this time, Your Honor, I would submit to the court that argument.
Okay. I did read, obviously, finding that that the son was the aggressor. I do see that the father did say, "What are you going to do? Hit me?" But respectfully, your PC argument is denied. I'm finding probable cause at this time. I do find that the victim wants contact with the defendant, so I'll say no hostile contact, but he does not want him to return home. Does Mr. Avelis have a place to go?
Yes, ma'am. My fiance's house.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the public defender for you. If I didn't already do so, I'm going to have you not return to your father's home and have no hostile contact with your father. You are to stay at your girlfriend's house, and I'm going to issue a bond of $500. Okay?
Your Honor, could we be heard on the bond?
Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for maybe straight PTR. I don't know if PTR has any information as far as prior history.
Your Honor, he has he has one simple assault which was dropped in 2021. He does qualify for a bond with PTR, not direct PTR.
Bond with PTR, but not just regular PTR?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
So you want to do just straight 500 or 500?
I'll do just straight 500. Is that what you prefer, Mr. Public Defender?
Yes, Your Honor, that'll be fine.
Okay. All right, so we'll do a straight bond of 500.
No hostile contact, maintains that resident, no return?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
And could the state put his name on record for?
Yes, State, would you please announce your presence?
Sure. Dwayne Henry for the state.
Okay, would you like to be heard on anything before we move on?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Not this time.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. No hostile contact with your father. Now we have Mr. Baldwin.
Your Honor, I would waive the reading of the charges on this matter.
Okay, Mr. Baldwin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You are being charged with unlawful use of a two-way communication device and that's a felony of the 3rd degree and a felony of the 2nd degree traveling to meet a minor.
Sorry, Judge. It was my request of waiving the reading of the charges. Waive the reading.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought you meant saying anything more, but okay, understood. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm finding probable cause, and I'm going to set a bond on the unlawful use of the two-way device for $2,500, and the second count, $5,000.
And I believe, Your Honor, he does have another police affidavit. I believe it's a driving license suspended.
Any condition on?
Yes, I'm going to have conditions, no contact with the victim or any witnesses, no return to the scene. I don't see, oh, yep, I do see it. I'm sorry. And I see the DWLS. I'm going to go ahead and issue a bond for $500 and find probable cause in that as well. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office on both of those cases. Would you like to be heard on anything?
I know, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want me to make sure these are signed? No? You're okay? Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. All right, next up we have Mr. Burgess. Mr. Burgess, please come forward. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right, you've been charged with possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you. I do find probable cause in this matter. I'm going to grant a bond of $1,500 on count 1 and $500 on count 2. State, defense.
Nothing from
Anything?
Defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Kevin Chaparro.
Judge, I do have a PC argument to be made on this case.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chaparro.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. You are being charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office on your case. And Mr. Public Defender, you have an argument as far as probable cause. Please go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. This time, reviewing the four corners of the document, it doesn't seem that there was an actual traffic infraction that was committed. Actually, my main thing is that I don't believe there's any kind of driving pattern or the vehicle was being operated on the roads of the state of Florida. So therefore, I would submit that as probable cause. If Your Honor does find probable cause, I do have arguments to make as far as bond amount.
Okay. State, would you please announce your name for the record?
Sure. Dwayne Henry for the state.
State, anything you'd like to say as far as PC goes?
Your Honor, there appears to be PC. The officer was entitled to run the license plate on the motorcycle. The revelation or the the officer explained that it was revealed that the registered owner did not have a valid driver's license, and thus the traffic stop was warranted and there was probable cause for the stop.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and find probable cause and go ahead, public defender, as far as bond goes.
Your Honor, if I can inquire with pretrial release if there's any prior history.
Sure.
Your Honor, he has multiple NTAs out of Orange County, failure to appear for driving without a valid driver's license in 2021. He also has a driving without a valid driver's license in 2018 out of Orange County, which he was found guilty of.
Okay.
Judge, according to the arrest affidavit, the bond is set at $500. Mr. Chaparro does have a job in the area of construction. He does highway work with the guardrails, is what he had shared with me. And we asked the court just to reduce the bond to $250.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and reduce the bond to $250.
Thank you, Judge.
Special condition, no driving without a valid driver's license.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mr. Clemens, please come forward. Good morning, Mr. Clemens. How are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
State?
Dwayne Henry for the state.
Defense?
Richard Mendoza on behalf of the defense.
Okay. Sir, you've been charged with grand theft, $750 to $5,000, a felony of the first degree. I have read the probable cause affidavit. I am temporarily appointing the public defender's office for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am also finding probable cause. Any bond arguments?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask the court to release him straight PTR with conditions that the court deems necessary. I believe pretrial release can give information.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, he does qualify for direct PTR. He has very minimal history.
Is that what he wants?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want me to get you a bond as well, or do you just want straight PTR?
Straight PTR would be great.
Okay, I'm going to give you straight PTR. Good luck to you, sir. I'm temporarily appointing the public defender's office and finding probable cause.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Moving to Mr. Cleveland. Please come forward, Mr. Cleveland. All right, good morning, Mr. Cleveland. How are you doing?
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, the state, you are being charged with battery, a misdemeanor of the first degree, and kidnapping, false imprisonment, a third-degree felony. I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the public defender's office on your case. I have reviewed your probable cause affidavit, and I am finding probable cause for your arrest. Any argument as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Currently, he is charged with he was arrested on a first-degree misdemeanor and a third-degree felony, both are which entitled to a bond. After speaking to PTR, he does qualify for a bond plus PTR. I would ask the court to do reasonable amounts on each count, and we'd ask the court to do $500 on each count plus PTR and conditions that you see fit, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Your Honor, with regards to bond, the state would defer to the court's judgment with regards to bond. However, conditions would, if bond were to be found, and no contact with the victim, no return to the scene.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and issue a bond for the misdemeanor of the first degree simple battery, $500. For the third degree felony, kidnapping, false imprisonment, $1,500. No contact with the victim, no return to the scene. Anything else, state or defense?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
None from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Cleveland.
Thank you.
All right, De La Rosa Cruz.
he requires the services of the Spanish interpreter.
All right, we'll put him to the bottom. We'll circle back around.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor,
You're
would you
welcome.
like me to tell you who the private interpreters, or, I'm sorry, the interpreter cases are?
As they come or right now?
It's up to you.
We'll just take them as they come and we'll roll them to the back and then take the interpreters, if that's okay with you.
Sounds good to me. The next one
All
does
right.
require an interpreter, Fernandez Baez.
Okay, Fernandez Baez, putting to the back.
Fernandez Baez.
We're skipping it.
Oh.
All right, next up we have Mr. Robert Mcmillan. Mr. Robert Mcmillan, please come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you doing?
Better if I wasn't here.
All right, sir, you're being charged with domestic battery by strangulation. I have read, I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you. I've read the probable cause affidavit. Any argument by defense?
Yes, Your Honor, after reviewing the affidavit, I would submit to the court that the alleged victim in this case was the initial aggressor, as she has claimed to have thrown a boot at Mr. Mcmillan. And based upon that, we are asking the court not to find probable cause and release him on his own recognizance. If the court does find probable cause, Your Honor, we'd ask that the bond amount be set, as this is a third-degree felony as charged and is entitled to a bond in the amount of $500 and any conditions that the court would see fit.
Okay. State anything?
Your Honor, the state's position would be that probable cause be found, despite the fact that the affidavit does say that the victim, in this case, did throw the boot towards the defendant, that the defendant actually came towards the victim and grabbed her by the neck and the hair and threw her to the bed. So the state would say that the affidavit does provide for probable cause and would request, again, under the court's discretion, reasonable bond set if the court so desires, along with no contact with the victim and a no return to the scene.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and issue a bond of $3,500, no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and I am finding probable cause, temporarily appointing the public defender's office.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck to you, sir. Mr. Jose Ortega?
As Mr. Ortega approaches, I'd be asking to waive the reading of the charges.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Ortega, good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit, and I do find probable cause. I have two cases, one in which you have waived formal reading. The other one, Mr. Public Defender, you want me to read it, or do you want to waive it?
Oh, we can waive. We'll just waive both cases.
Okay. All right. Probable cause is found as the both cases. Do you want to have an argument as a probable cause?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Bond.
Looks like there is one count that does not have a bond. It is a second-degree felony. I would submit to the court that it is entitled to a bond and to ask the court to set a reasonable bond amount on that matter in the amount of $1,000.
State.
Your Honor, the state's position would be that there would be no bond given the nature of the charges. But if the court does see it fit that a bond be set, that the bond actually be set at $5,000 for that one particular count.
All right. And if I haven't already done so, I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you.
Your Honor, in addition, obviously, no contact, no return.
As to count one, $5,000. I'm setting a bond. As to count two, $2,500. As to count three, $5,000. No contact, no return to the scene. No contact with the victim. As to the misdemeanors, possession of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to give $150 on both of those as a bond.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, next up we have Mr. Eduardo Ortiz Vasquez.
Judge, I don't have a PC argument on this, but I do have release condition argument.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Ortiz Vasquez. How are you doing?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. You've been charged with a simple battery, a misdemeanor of the first degree. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you and find probable cause. As to release conditions, Mr. Public Defender.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we'd ask the court if he'd allow him to be straight PTR with no monetary bond needed, based upon the fact in the affidavit, it looked like the alleged victim in this case was uncooperative with law enforcement. It just seemed like she wasn't sure exactly what she wanted to do with this case. There's no current or past injunction in place, no history of domestic violence. I don't know if there was any contact made with the alleged victim as far as contact is concerned. I know that can be changed in the future, but what we're asking is for straight PTR in this matter.
All right, I don't believe he qualifies for straight PTR, does he?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so he's entitled to PTR with a bond.
Your Honor, we'd ask the court to set this at $250 based upon what I've shared with the court, along with PTR and condition.
Oh. State, would you like to be heard?
Your Honor, state's position would be that if, again, with regards to bond, under the discretion of the court, but if a bond is set, that the bond is set at about $750 for the bond. Also request that there be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene.
Okay. I will do a bond in the amount of $500 plus PTR, or if he doesn't want PTR, I could do straight $700, no contact with the victim and no return to the scene.
So which one are you gonna do the?
Either one. You can do a bond of 500 with PTR, or a straight bond of 700. No contact, no return to the scene.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. It'll be the 500 with plus PTR.
Okay, he wants to do the 500 plus PTR. There you go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Shannon Rhodes, please come forward. Shannon Rhodes.
She is on her way to the microphone. I did have a PC argument to be made as far as the burglary charge is concerned.
Thank you.
And I believe she does have 2 cases before Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing?
Been better.
Okay, you're being charged with introduction of contraband into the jail, drug paraphernalia, and burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office in all of your cases, and I'm going to allow him to make a probable cause argument at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. With regards to the burglary, looking at the 4 corners of the affidavit, I do not see where a crime was being committed within the premises or the unoccupied dwelling. I mean, at the very least, maybe a trespass, but I do not see a burglary based upon the 4 corners. I would ask the court not to find probable cause as far as the burglary is concerned.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and state, you want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to find probable cause on the burglary. Would you like to be heard on bond?
Your Honor, we'd ask the court, based upon my arguments, to reduce the bond from the $5,000 down to $2,500.
State?
Your Honor, we leave it to the discretion of the court.
All right, as to the burglary, I find PC. I'm going to issue a bond of $2,500. No return to the scene, no victim contact with the residents of that home. As to the drug paraphernalia, second-degree misdemeanor, bond of $150 will be set, and as to the introduction of contraband into the jail, $1,500 will be the bond. I do find PC in both those cases, and if I didn't say it, I'm temporarily appointing the public defender's office for you, Ms. Rhodes.
Your Honor,
All right.
just a
Good luck to you.
clarification as to the bond amount on the introduction of contraband and paraphernalia. I'm sorry.
$1,500.
And then for that's 1,500 total or 1,500 for one?
No, $1,500 for the introduction, and for the second-degree drug paraphernalia, $150.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jorge Rivera.
Your Honor, he requires an interpreter.
Okay, we'll put it to the back. Thank you. Alvin Wilmore. Oh, no. Joshua Taylor?
Yes.
Joshua Taylor.
I'm
Good
sorry,
morning,
this is,
Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Wilmore.
This is Mr. Wilmore. Okay, what did I do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Give me 1 second. Mr. Wilmore. Alvin. Okay. All right. Good morning, Mr. Wilmore.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Looks like you are out on bond on resisting arrest without violence and threat with seriously bodily harm to a law enforcement officer. Case number 2022 MM00486. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you at this time. And now you're being charged with
Your Honor,
this.
I was like to get ROI in this case because like this case been going since 2016, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm in here for because I feel those people waste my time, waste taxpayer dollar. I don't belong in here, Your Honor. I was like to get ROI in this case, please, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. You're being charged with disorderly conduct. It's important that you let your public defender make the arguments for you. We just don't want anything you say or do to be used against you. Okay, sir? All right. I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the public defender's office. I am looking at the probable cause affidavit. Would you like to make a probable cause argument as to the disorderly?
Probable cause, no, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm finding probable cause on the disorderly conduct and release conditions.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Okay, state.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
The one on top is
This is what he's
out on bond.
Yeah, out on bond.
Yes. This is what he.
Yeah, this is the new one. I'm going to go ahead and issue a bond on the disorderly conduct, which is $150. And he's going to remain no bond on the underlying case at this time. He is already no bond, right?
It's up to you. He's out on.
Bonds that set at zero?
Well, he's out.
Or the bond can remain?
It's up to you. You want to set it at zero? Take no action.
I'll let it remain. It's the existing bond. Take no
So,
action.
no action.
Yeah. Yes, he can bond out on the disorderly.
I think
Judge, the case that remains at zero, what was that case number, Your Honor?
Well, it doesn't remain at zero because he does have a bond, and I'm not revoking it at this time. I'm going to let the division judge do that if they wish.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
I'm letting him remain on the current bond, and then I'm setting $150 for the disorderly.
Your Honor, and I believe defense attorney was asking about the case number. It's case 2022.
Case number, the underlying is 2022 MM486.
Thank you, Judge.
Do you have Joshua's name?
Joshua, yes, Taylor. Oh, okay. Okay? Okay, Joshua Taylor, please come forward. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Looks like we are here on a violation of probation, community control. I'm temporarily appointing the public defender's office for you at this time. I have found probable cause as well. Any argument as to bond?
Your Honor, since this is a violation of probation for driving license suspended with habitual offender, I would ask the court to set a bond amount in the amount of $500 and any conditions you deem necessary, Your Honor.
State?
We leave it to the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm gonna hold him no bond until the division judge gets to him, okay, on the violation of probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Castillo, please come forward.
Your Honor, he refused according to the jail.
Okay.
We just asked the court to reset this 24 hours. It looks like an out-of-county warrant. Your Honor, actually, Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and waive his appearance for initial appearance since it is an out-of-county, Seminole County warrant.
All right, that's going to be for Isis Castillo. This is an out-of-county warrant. He refused. You're going to waive his appearance. I do find probable cause. And he will be transported to Seminole County.
And does he have a bond?
He does, $995.
The bond stay?
The bond will stay. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Sebastian? All right. Mr. Sebastian Sustata? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. How do you say your last name?
Sustaita.
Sustaita?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Sustaita. You have two cases here in front of me. Fleeing with disregard to safety, a felony of the second degree, and ag bat on a law enforcement officer, felony of the first degree, ag assault on a law enforcement officer, second degree felony, and resisting an officer without violence, a third degree felony. I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the public defender's office for you at this time. Any PC argument?
No PC arguments, Your Honor, just bond amount arguments.
Okay. Bond amount as far as the fleeing?
Yes, Your Honor. He was arrested and it was at zero bond. He is entitled to a bond on a second degree felony charge. We'd ask the court to set that bond at $1,000.
State.
We leave it to the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
All right. As to the fleeing, I'm setting a $2,500 bond. And finding PC. As to the second case, ag bat, ag assault, and resisting, any bond arguments or PC?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set the bond on the ag bat on a Leo. I'm going to leave that at $10,000. On the ag assault on the Leo, I'm going to cut that down to $2,500. And on the resisting officer with violence, I'm going to leave that at $1,000.
Thank you, Judge.
And no contact with the victim, no return.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Scotty George Coburn.
Your Honor, I was told by the correctional facility that he was irate and combative. I know this was previously reset from 514. It looks like a battery. There is a bond of $500, Your Honor. I will go ahead and waive his appearance and have this initial appearance heard today.
Okay. As to Mr. Coburn, you're going to waive his appearance. He is being charged with a simple battery, touch or strike. I do find probable cause. I'm going to temporarily appoint the public defender's office. Do you have any argument for bond?
None at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, State.
At the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
I'm going to set a bond in the amount of $500. No victim contact, no return to the scene.
Does he add on, he add on, 214, taking in
Okay, there's an add-on,
2021 MM.
2021 MM282, in which he's currently out on bond.
And we'll waive his appearance on that case. This is about Mr. Coburn, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe pretrial would know what we out on.
Yeah.
They were,
What's the underlying?
Judge, I don't have any information about the 21 MM282. I don't, does pretrial release, do you have it? Pretrial release doesn't have any information as well, Your Honor.
Give me a second, Your Honor, I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
The case number is 21 MM284.
282.
282. Okay.
Your Honor, as pretrial release does that, would you like to go ahead with the interpreter cases, or?
You can give him a second.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, the underlying charge is criminal mischief.
All right, so he's out on bond on criminal mischief, and he picks up a battery, simple touch, or strike. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take no action on the criminal mischief, and I'm going to leave him at a $500 bond on the battery, simple touch, or strike.
Thank you, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
so now we call the interpreter.
All right, interpreter cases. You want me to call
This one?
We get the plus.
Plus.
We do the plus.
Mm-hmm. Interpreter?
I mean,
Add.
yeah.
All right, we're going to do the interpreter cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jaime Sotomayor, certified federal interpreter, already sworn today.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor.
All right, we have first up Junior De La Rosa Cruz. Please come forward, Mr. Cruz.
Pase al frente, señor Cruz.
All right, good morning, Mr. Cruz.
Buenos días, señor De La Rosa Cruz.
You have a violation of probation, out-of-county warrant.
Usted está aquí por una orden de detención fuera de este condado por una violación de libertad supervisada probatoria.
Judge, I believe the violation of probation is in Osceola County. I thought I heard you say out of county.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not out-of-county. It's actually here in Osceola.
Sí, no es de fuera del condado, es de aquí de Osceola.
I read that he has a trespass battery out of Polk County in which he's also on probation.
Pues él tiene también un cargo de agresión y de penetración en morada de Polk County, por el cual también se encuentra en libertad supervisada en probatoria.
I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office on your case. Do you have any argument as to bond?
Le tengo entonces un nombramiento temporero para el defensor público y le pregunto al abogado si tiene algún argumento en cuanto a fianza.
None at this time, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to stay the bond at $3,500.
All right, state.
Nada en este momento, sencillamente vamos a pedirle al tribunal que mantenga la fianza en $3,500.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to stay the bond at $3,500. Good luck to you, sir.
Muy bien, pues la fianza va a permanecer en $3,500. Muchas gracias. Could the interpreter have the case number, Your Honor?
Um, 21 CF 505.
I didn't hear the first number.
21
CF
505.
Thank you. 21 CF 505.
But the other two don't have a case number. So.
Okay. All right, as to Mr. Adonis Fernandez Baez, please come forward.
Your Honor, as he's approaching, I would ask to waive the reading of the charges.
Yes.
El señor Adonis Fernández Báez pase al frente. Estamos pidiendo que no se lean los cargos.
All right, good morning, sir.
Buenos días, señor.
I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office on this case, and the Public Defender has asked that we waive the reading. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You've been charged with 3 counts. I'm going to go ahead and find probable cause. Do you want to have any argument on bond, Public Defender?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. As far as
I'm sorry.
second-degree felony.
Oh, wait, let's let
Yes,
the
I know.
interpreter
I'm
go.
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. None of that was interpreted for the defendant. Could you repeat it, Your Honor? I'm sorry. It's just very confusing.
It's okay. He's being charged with 3 counts, and I appointed the public defender to temporarily, and they asked that we waive formal reading, so that will be granted. I'm waiving formal reading.
Muy bien, entonces usted está acusado de 3 cargos. El abogado del defensor público que se ha nombrado temporalmente para que lo represente solicitó que no se lean los cargos formales, así que no vamos a leer los cargos formales.
I find probable cause in this case.
Estoy determinando causa probable, motivo fundado en este caso.
And Mr. Public Defender, you'd like to make an argument as to bond?
Y entonces le pregunto al defensor público si quiere hacer un argumento en cuanto a la fianza.
With regards to the charge that does not have a bond, it is a second-degree felony and he'd be entitled to a bond.
Con respecto al cargo que no tiene fianza, es un delito grave de segundo grado por el cual tiene derecho a fianza.
And we ask the court to set a reasonable bond amount and conditions you deem fit.
Y entonces vamos a solicitar al tribunal que se imponga una cantidad razonable de fianza con las condiciones que usted entienda necesarias.
State.
Gracias, señoría.
Your state's position would be that if a bond is set, if the court does see within its discretion to set a bond, that the bond would be set at $5,000, given the nature of the charges, no contact with victim, no return to scene.
La Fiscalía está solicitando que, dado la severidad de los cargos, si es que se impone una fianza, que la fianza sean $5,000 con no regresar a la escena, no contacto con la víctima.
Okay. As to count 1, I'm going to stay the bond at $2,500. As to count 2, I'm going to stay the bond at $5,000. As to count 3, I'm going to issue a bond of $2,500 with no contact, no return to the scene, no contact with the victim.
Muy bien, entonces estoy manteniendo la fianza en el cargo número 1 en $2,500, en el cargo número 2 en $5,000 y para el cargo número 3 voy a imponer una nueva fianza de $2,500 con las condiciones de no contacto, no regresar a la escena, no contacto con la víctima.
All right, anything else?
None from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nada más de la defensa, nada más de la fiscalía.
Moving on to Jorge Rivera.
Jorge Rivera.
Good morning, sir.
Buenos días, caballero.
Sir, you've been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, a felony of the 3rd degree, punishable by 5 years Florida State Prison, as well as possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, a felony of the 2nd degree. I'm going to go ahead and temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office for you at this time. Mr. Public Defender, would you like to make a PC argument?
Muy bien, señor. Usted está acusado de varios cargos. El cargo de agresión agravada, que es un delito grave de 3er grado con un castigo de hasta 5 años de cárcel. Posesión de un arma por un convicto de delito grave, que es un cargo de delito grave de 2º grado. Y estoy nombrando temporalmente al defensor público para que lo represente.
And none at this time, Your Honor, as I believe this is a warrant case.
En este momento no tenemos nada que decir en cuanto a fianza. Me parece que esto ya tiene una orden de arresto.
I'm sorry, I missed that. It is a what case?
A warrant case, Your Honor? And I
Yes.
don't have the warrant in front of me.
Yes,
Es
correct.
un caso de orden de arresto y no tengo aquí una orden de arresto frente a mí.
Okay. I go ahead and find PC.
Estoy determinando causa probable, motivo fundado.
Looks like he's out on bond for an Osceola case, 2022 CF 362.
Aparentemente él está bajo fianza ya en un caso de Osceola, el 22 CF 362.
I'm going to leave it to the division judge to set a bond.
Y voy a dejar entonces que el juez de división decida si impone fianza.
Yes, yes. Revoking the case that he's out on, revoking and setting a no bond, and then I'm going to stay the bond amounts on the new arrest, the ag assault, and the possession of deadly weapon.
O sea que
Possession of weapon by a convicted felon, I'm sorry.
estoy suspendiendo la fianza en el caso antiguo. En el nuevo caso no estoy imponiendo fianza. Vamos a dejarlo a discreción del juez en el caso de los 2 cargos nuevos de agresión agravada de tercer grado y posesión de un arma por parte de un convicto de delito grave.
So it's no bond count 1 and 4,000 count 2?
Yes.
Is there a new case number for this case, Your Honor?
No. All right, that's Osceola. Thank you guys very much. Anything else I can do for you?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You're welcome. You have a good day as well.
Thank you.
And Osceola is a spot. Can you just click on Osceola?
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.